Perek Chaf Beis, page Kuf Tes Zayin, the last paragraph. Unbelievable. So the next paragraph is based on a pasuk, I think in Parshas Eikev. The pasuk says, in the very end of the parsha, the pasuk says, "Loi merubchem chashak Hashem bachem." Not because you are so many does Hashem have a desire for you. Ki atem hama'at mikol ha'amim, because you're the smallest among the nations. Imagine that's in Chumash. Hashem says, I don't love you because there's so many of you, because actually you're the smallest among the nations. So Chazal darshan ki atem hama'at mikol ha'amim is that you make yourself small. Ki atem hamima'atim atzmechem, you make yourself small. That despite all the greatness that I shower upon you, it doesn't affect anything. You know, like the type that, like, imagine you have a classmate that suddenly is super successful. You know, he has this, he starts a company, a startup, you know, he gets involved in AI, whatever it is, and before you turn around, you look online, the guy's worth $100 million. Nice, right? You meet this guy at a yeshiva dinner or something, you're a little nervous to say hi to him. You know, this guy just became one of the big guys. And you walk over to him, and nothing, it's like nothing changed. He's the same person, the same humble person. He's as interested in your life as you are in his. He inquires how you're doing, how's your family. He remembers things going on in your life, and he leans into them. That's super impressive, right? It's super impressive when that happens. You know, sometimes you find the opposite, that as soon as people get a certain amount of gedula, suddenly they're harder to talk to. It could be when they become wealthy. That's the easiest example. That somebody suddenly becomes wealthy, they don't have time for people like us, you know. And sometimes it could be from a position standpoint, you know. You know, like suddenly, you know, in the world that I live in the world of yeshiva, so like suddenly one of the rabbeim becomes the Rosh Yeshiva. You know, the Rosh Yeshiva, let's say, Mitzvah Shem, he should Yarech Yomim al Mamlachta, he should be here for many years. But let's say, I happen to know a couple of years ago that a very big famous yeshiva was having a conversation with our Rosh Yeshiva, let's say. Okay, apparently, Baruch Hashem, nothing came of it. But, so then they would decide, okay, so pick a Rebbe, you know, becomes a Rosh Yeshiva, okay? Now, the other Rabbeim, think about the other Rabbeim. They sit down with this Rebbe, now he's the Rosh Yeshiva. Did something change? Did something change? That's the beauty. Some people have a midah. It's not the pshat that they're very high people, but they're still nice. Sometimes you have people that nothing changes. If anything, they become more humble. You know, they just become more humble. There's no airs about them at all. It's an incredible midah. It's an incredible midah. You know, someone becomes the president, someone becomes appointed to government, someone becomes a CEO of a company, you know. Tim Cook steps down from being Apple CEO, somebody else steps up and takes his place. That guy, suddenly moves to the Mizrach in Shul, you know. Suddenly all the yeshivas are calling him. How does he act? Is he the same guy, or does something change? And this Klal Yisrael is praised that by the leaders of Klal Yisrael, the greater they become, the more humble they become. And if you've known true leaders in Klal Yisrael, you know that this is indeed the case. But listen to this. V'chein amru oid. Chazal say further, Lo meirubchem mikol ha'amim. It's not because you're more than all the nations. Omar lohem HaKadosh Baruch Hu Yisrael. HaKadosh Baruch Hu says to Klal Yisrael, Banai, my sons. You know he's going to say something loving when he starts off with Banai, right? My sons. Ani choshek bachem. I have a desire for you. David Meir, can you imagine that a couple of years ago, a guy came over to me and said, you always talk about that Hashem loves us. I want to just tell you, it doesn't say in one place in the Torah that Hashem loves us. As the guy told me. you imagine? I told the guy, Loi merubchem choshak Hashem b'chem, ki atem ha'ma'at mikol ha'amim, elo me ahavas Hashem eschem. Hello? Hashem has a desire for us. Hashem loves us. Hashem wants us. We say it by Kiddush. I get choked up sometimes. Asher Kiddishanu b'mitzvaysav every Friday night. Every Friday night. Think about it. Tomorrow night. Asher Kiddishanu b'mitzvaysav. Hashem was mekadosh us with His mitzvahs. V'ratza banu. Is there anything more intimate than that to say about Hashem? V'ratza banu, and He wanted us. Isn't that amazing? Hashem wants us. Look at these words. Banai, my sons. Ani choshek b'chem. I have a desire for you. She'afilu k'shani mashpia lechem gedula. You know why? Hashem says, you know what gives me an extra cheshek to be close to you? Because even when I rain greatness upon you, I bring greatness upon you, atem mima'atim atzmechem lefanai. You make yourself small in front of me. And listen to these epic examples that the Chazal bring. Nosati gedula le'Avram. I gave greatness to Avram Avinu. Avram Avinu was told that you're the beginning of a new nation. Okay? You're the beginning of a new nation. You are the beginning of not just any new nation. Avram Avinu is not the George Washington of Klal Yisrael, chas v'shalom. Avram Avinu is the Av of a nation that the entire world was created for. That's going to bring about Mashiach. That's going to exist la'achros hayamim. I don't know, if I was Avram Avinu, I'd feel pretty good about myself. What does Avram Avinu himself say? Omar, he says, Ve'onoichi afar va'efer. I am dust and ashes. When he's talking to Hashem and davening to Hashem, he says, Hashem, there's no reason you would want to listen to me. I'm nothing, I'm nobody. But still, please listen to my tefillah and save the people of Sodom. Anoichi afar va'efer. Did Avram really believe that? Apparently, I don't think Avram Avinu was playing games when he spoke to Hashem. Apparently, Avram Avinu really believed that he was afar va'efer. Did Avram Avinu know he was a great man? He must have known he was a great man. Nobody ever accused Avram Avinu of stupidity. He must have known he was a great man, and yet he said, Anoichi afar va'efer. Because when you're standing in front of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and every midah that you have came from HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu is greater than our minds could possibly comprehend, the appropriate feeling is, Anoichi afar va'efer. It's not a low self-esteem feeling. It's just an honest feeling of looking at yourself in contrast with the Rabbi Shalom that you're talking to. Let's move on. Another generation, another time in history. A few generations later, Nosati gedula leMoshe ve'Aaron. I gave greatness to Moshe and Aaron. Moshe and Aaron, their leadership was questioned in the Midbar. There was a Yid by the name of Kairach who gathered two other Yidden by the names of Dasan and Aviram, who gathered together hundreds of other Yidden, 150 people, I think, from Shevet Levi, and they gathered people together to make a coup, to rebel against Moshe and Aaron. And the lashon that they used when they rebelled against Moshe and Aaron is, who do you think you are that you think you're better than us? Ki kol ha'eda kulam kedoshim. All Jews are holy. Umadua tisnasa'u al kahal Hashem. Why are you lifting yourself up over with gaiva on the kahal Hashem? Okay? Madua tisnasa'u al kahal Hashem. Moshe and Aaron, they did not accept leadership because they were yearning for gaiva or to be dominating over other people. Moshe Rabbeinu would have been happy being a shepherd for the rest of his life. He wasn't here to dominate over other people. He was here to do Hashem's shlichus, to be an Eved Ne'eman. Moshe Rabbeinu is B'chol Beisi Ne'eman, he's Hashem's trusted servant. And Moshe Rabbeinu did not become a leader of Klal Yisrael because he thought he was better than everyone. He became a leader of Klal Yisrael because Hashem told him to. So when Moshe and Aaron responded to the criticism on them, they said, "V'nachnu ma," and us, what are we? Lo yaleinu telunai seichem. Your complaint is not on us. Ki al Hashem. Your complaint is on Hashem. This is not about us. V'nachnu ma. What are we? So that's what it says. I gave Gedula to Moshe and Aaron. Amru, they said, V'nachnu ma. Okay, we go to another generation, another era in Jewish history, the days of David HaMelech. David HaMelech, the David that was a young shepherd with 7 older brothers who were each one Gedolim in their own right. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu said that David should be the one who's Nimshach, to be the first Melech Yisrael from Shevet Yehuda, to start the dynasty of Mashiach ben David. David Melech Yisrael Chai V'Kayim, the great warrior who took down Goliath and took down all of the enemies of Klal Yisrael. The one who wrote Sefer Tehillim. Can you imagine the author of Tehillim? What's the first thing we do when anything goes wrong in our lives? We reach for the Tehillim. David wrote Tehillim. You think he had a right to feel good about himself? I think he could have felt good about himself. I think he could have sat here and felt like, I'm a little better than you guys. Nosati Gedula LeDavid, I gave greatness to David HaMelech. Omar, he said, Ve'anoichi toila'as, and I am a worm. V'lai ish, I'm not a chashuv person. He calls them, Imashe'ein halev hayosher. All of this comes from the fact that a straight heart, a clear thinking person, is not meiniach atzmai, does not allow himself lehispatos, to become seduced. Mishum mayla asher yivayeu. Don't be seduced by your good midas. Don't be seduced by what you do better than other people. Hashem has been good to you. It's not a reason to walk around feeling like we're better than other people. That's the message that we've learned. Biyodai, because he knows be'emes, with truth, shekvar loy mipnei zeh yoytze midei shiflusai. This alone will not help him go out of his lowliness. We know we have so much that we need to improve in our lives. Ki im mitzad chesronos or acheros. What about all our other chesronos? Maybe I'm better than you in one thing, but in other areas I have so much to learn from you. She'i efshar shelo yihu, it's impossible that there wouldn't be other chesronos. Even the good deeds that you did, the mitzvahs that you did, the Torah you learned, you did them perfectly? Really? You're ready to say in front of the world, I'm the great fulfiller of mitzvahs? He certainly hasn't gotten to the final goal. And not only that, even if only you had one chisaron, you are a human being. That's enough to say, okay, human beings are great because Hashem makes us great, not because we're great. Ela heyoisai basar v'dam, yelud isha, flesh and blood, born from a woman. Dai loy zeva haiser. This is enough and more. Lepchisus ugrios, to appreciate our lowliness, our limitations. It's not appropriate for us to be balei gaiva. Do you have milas? Of course you have milas. Do you have milas? Huge milas. This is not to say that a person doesn't have milas. This is not to say that a person doesn't have very powerful parts to them. But we have to give credit where credit is due. Ki harei kol maila shehu masid. Every mila that a person achieves, einoi elo chesed keil olav. It's the chesed of Hashem on him. Sheroitze lochain oisai. HaKadosh Baruch Hu has graciously granted you. Im heyoisai mitzad tivai v'chamriusai. Even if from my physicality and my nature, I'm not a giving person, or I'm not a loving person, or I'm not a holy person. But HaKadosh Baruch Hu is so good to me, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu has inspired me and brought me to be able to perhaps taste or have some sense of some good midas. Mitzat tzivay v'chamriusay shafal v'nivza ad ma'oid. Al kain ein lo yelo lahaydos. Therefore, you know how we should react to this? We should react by making a Sudas Haidah. We should thank Hashem. Turn on the music, finally. Levi shechanonoi, to the one who gave him all those midas. If you learned your good midas from your parents, you thank HaKadosh Baruch Hu for your parents. If you learned your good midas from Rabbeim or friends, you thank HaKadosh Baruch Hu for those people. You recognize that without Hashem's help, you would not have gotten here. I'm sorry. Al kain ein lo yelo lahodos to mishachanoni v'likona tamid yoser, and to even feel greater hachna, greater humility in front of Hashem, who's given you so much. You know the feeling sometimes that you can get from someone so much that you should feel ashamed from that person? How do we stand in front of Hashem? Hashem gave us everything. What shame? It's a very holy shame. It's not negative shame. It's not shame that your therapist will say, shame is bad. It's the sense of humility. I owe everything to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Halamazeh daima, what is this like? La'oni ve'evyoin. It's like a poor person, shemekabel matana b'chesed. A poor person that gets a matana. I just gave that mashal. She'i ef shaloi shaloi yevash. It's impossible that he wouldn't feel a certain busha. Ki kol ma she'yir b'hachesed she'yekabel, as law, the more chesed he receives, kach yar b'haboishes she'yevash, the more humiliation, the more busha he feels. Kein hadavar hazeh b'chol adam. The same thing is true with any person. She'einav pekuchais, whose eyes are open. Yeah, you have to have open eyes. And then you can thank Hashem for that too. Lirais es atzmai, to be able to see himself. V'hiyoisei masig mailos toivos me'es Hashem Yisbarach, achieving great mailos from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Uke'inyin she'omar David HaMelech, like David HaMelech said, Ma ashiv l'Hashem. How can I return to Hashem? How can I respond to Hashem? Kol tagmulohi oloi, all of his chesed to me. So that's the way we walk out. We don't walk out from learning about Anova with our shoulders drooped and feeling like we're nobody. We walk out with our head held high, grateful to HaKadosh Baruch Hu for the rich Yerusha that He has given us.